All right. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. First of all, I want to apologize um, to everyone because I be make a promise for come at the air for do some live interviews. Unfortunately, technology will overcome the process, not be able to succeed. So I'm very, very sorry about it. For me and the guests, we get some challenges then. So we're not able for get live interviews as planned. So we're very, very sorry about it. Even though not been succeed for go for hold the live interview, but I decide say I get for come back and talk to the public to say I'm very sorry, and at the same time for try for just make a review of the things that way I be want to discuss, but I want to assure and say definitely by the grace of Almighty God, we will definitely get this interview done. We will plan them. We'll make sure say the issues that we come up, they learn from them and try for make sure say we overcome any potential issue next time. And it's technology. We're ready about this, and so I apologize to everybody. We been on the way through for the interview. I'm very sorry about it. So the interview we will be one hold with the guests in Sierra Leone. I'm not going to reveal much yet because this is not the interview. But I decided say I need to come, make I do some small talk so that people can understand within the framework we have been done designed towards this process, and very important. Now, as I've been promised, I therefore they come from time to time for engage the public and then share my own ideas and opinions. Now, for those of you, for people away not know me, now Dr. Mohamed Turay. I recently graduated with a PhD in public policy and administration from Walden University. So that's not me. And the study I base a lot of the things that I do on Sierra Leone. So that's why I get interest from the country. So instead of doing a lot of those things, but here, everything will related to research and try to identify information, project work. I base on Sierra Leone. So that's why I get a lot of interest in Sierra Leone and I know a lot about Sierra Leone. Now, even now, I know the study, I still go in all the time, whether it's IMF, World Bank, or try to do something, like I recently they do some courses in different universities on climate change, sustainability, energy, justice, a lot of those areas stuff. But within the framework of climate change and global warming, sustainability. So during that process, it's a very rigorous process. So when you take exams, then you get to write projects at the end before you get your diploma, and I've been share themselves. So all the examples I was Sierra Leone, because by the grace of God, this country and I will come out and therefore talk about them. So let me go to why I've been decided for do this interview, and again, my guest in Salon, we're ready. We all know we're ready for be part of the process, and I will therefore invite a lot of people from time to time when the platform don't set up properly. So we know, say we don't get a lot of challenges in our country. So thank you to everybody who join me for be part of this live discussion. So you can leave a question, I will respond to you. If you have any question, type it down, I will look at and I respond to you. So I decided to do today's discussion because we find out, say, in any activity we would engage in, whether it's business, in any relationship we would, when things go wrong, we are always in the habit of asking why the problem there. And then we do also kind of be focused on this for grumble, because sometimes we know they get the answers. That's the reason. In the case of Sierra Leone, there have been a lot of challenges where people they don't face, the country don't go through. Some man-made problems because of poor judgment, and a lot of things will happen what we know. We contribute to the present circumstance. So it's a very terrible thing. And so the thing that we don't happen, the Boku, now for instance, we see the country, they go through a lot of food security issues. Food security is a problem because according to research where they publish from different institutions and research firms, the IMF, the World Bank, FAO, and other independent groups or researchers. So they find out, say, food is a serious problem in Sierra Leone. And as early as this year, statistics say more than 80% of households in Sierra Leone they suffer from food insecurity. And there are certain districts where they talk about specifically, like Karine district, Cambia, Poloko, Kwenadugu district, Falapa, Pujao, Muyamba, Kailao. So a lot of these districts there, they talk about the struggle what people they go through for food. And I know they make them up. Like I tell you now, when I do recently I did pursue courses in climate change, sustainability, climate mitigation, adaptation. So I do a lot of stuff then. And there are some of those courses where they make mention of Sierra Leone specifically. And I was really surprised that the country be part of it. But that's the truth, because when we look at variability in climate change, we see the effect on Sierra Leone. So, but the point here is a lot of things that they happen at Sierra Leone, and one of them are food security issues. Food security is very serious because we see how much families then they spend a lot of the income for try to get food for families. Families, according to records, according to publishable information, they don't put a lot of stress on so many people. People have the struggle. They sell even their valuables just for food, not for buy clothes. It happen whether in a land they get or other stuff there. When I see them, I feel bad because that I'm a country. But that's the reality. So people they spend a lot, and some people are not able because as unemployment, income poverty has also, as I mentioned, they going down this list where I get, So all the issues and then inform the inability for people for able to either get sufficient food, So that might be a problem. Now, food insecurity also they come up because not so climate change as well. So we all know environmental issues don't affect alone. The rains they lead to excessive flooding, where they affect them for plant food, especially because we know where our agricultural system is rain dependent, and specific times of year and in the farm, we don't get other way technological development the way they their culture like irrigation systems where we will support at some time of the year. So we see that rain the affect and also drought. So but in other way we also look at unemployment issues, income poverty, so they contribute for let people and they struggle for food, so but the crop production we know it's a problem. Now those are some of the issues that people in the struggle. So food insecurity is a big problem, over 80%, and we also see productivity, agricultural productivity don't reduce a lot, But the question is this a fixable problem? Whether rain to be an issue or climate change to be an issue, every country they go through one. Although Sierra Leone gets a big issue, but we need for understand say we go use a lot of methods for mitigate climate change and also use adaptation measures. We will address the food insufficiency issue in Sierra Leone. So it's a very big problem. You know, the other thing is we have the water insecurity. So I'd say water insecurity. Okay, so water insecurity is a big problem in Sierra Leone. At some time of the year, beside dry season, the water they become a problem in Sierra Leone. You know, and this water it gets a valuable kind of function with the perform our systems. But the question is it a fixable problem? I think the water problem is a fixable problem. Okay, because when I did the courses, then find out say I did water security, you know, different programs. So when you look at the water security issues, it divided into like two orders: the first order and the second order. The first order, like it can be sometimes can be some countries then they get a physical condition way above the process for get water. You look at Namibia, countries away dry, the Sahel region, they suffer from water security problems because in natural the environment no conducive for letting get a lot of water. You know, then they buy and there and it is strained for them. Sierra Leone, not one of them, will get rain they come a lot, like I say right now, rain they come at Sierra Leone. You know, and we get a lot of rivers. We get, you know, Boku rivers and other streams there. Waiting we get is the problem we'll get will not fall within the first order, will fall within the second order. When a management issues, then the problem of water in Sierra Leone. So nothing will fixable. But how do you do that? You know, different countries then going into the different methods. The rain where they drop, so all that water they enough for the go waste. Although yes, you know, the groundwater is necessary for do something to the environment, you know, vegetation, everything. But methods and for don't they way and for try to get this water for storm. A lot of it get big boku reservoirs them across the country, all districts, so that when time reach where we know they can, you know, they're able to provide this water. And everybody also try to do a sanitation process where go allow even the water we don't use and they reuse them. It's a very serious problem, a very difficult thing. But if the country has water resources, where they go do them sufficiently, and if they do them basically not so free, then go sell them. You know, and even when we come to agriculture, we have to say rest not only in the season in the planter. You know, we could able as address that issue there because part of the thing what we do as adaptation to climate change, we for review we farming practices and see why we are rain dependent agriculture, especially for rice. But that 10 day it can dry. Then if we come back even cassava as a crop, you know, when in the plant dry season, you know, like around December time, then people adjust that because we know say then the cassava don't need water, but it need a moist the environment, the soil will be moist. So which means the dew will be the happen like that fog where they happen around the 10 day. But if you look at talk to agriculturists then and they find out say around in December time that don't get a problem because the place is warmer than it used to be that Hamatan time. So the Hamatan it kind of less it don't less now and therefore it affect the cassava for grow because it need if the soil so dry, you know, they would make it would grow fine. So and so if I can move on to so then I think we say then be able just change our cultural practices and we will address that. The other thing where they happen at Sierra Leone, we know there are health issues in Sierra Leone. You know, the healthcare system is very, very poor, and today we don't go back. We've been getting during APC time, there was much improvement in relation to maternal mortality rate and infant and child mortality rate as well. I mean, improve a lot because they may get this free healthcare system, so that free healthcare system will play a major role for support communities, and they put money in families' pockets. What does that mean? It means, say, if you look at when somebody is pregnant, a woman is pregnant, and therefore they go healthcare, health checkup, the money where they spend throughout that period, it can lead to a couple of millions of pounds. But with the free healthcare system, they will go free. If you get picking up to 5 years old, it will go free. So if you look at the households in Sierra Leone, across Sierra Leone at that time, where that system be available, if you multiply that, it costs that nationwide. It goes to billions of leones. Women they go now, households, families, where they get pregnant women, lactating women, as well as the children, all incidentally. So that's now an issue today, not available again. I remember they look at statistics. Sometimes, I think in 2020 or so, inside 1,000 women, they will get the leg. About 777. I therefore check the date. It will be 2019 or 2020, because somebody be make a post before, I will call the name, and then I go to the government. So I try to refute what he say. He talk about we see somebody where they put in a hammock, we know it will born a Kabbalah part, so we right bottom. And income for can defend how the healthcare don't improve, how women in this. Then I go and send the post, I check them out. Because we get about over 700 women that die. Either with the give back or after due to other factors. So I've been careful to refute that. So this now not to politics. I'm not talking politics here. I talk about the reality and why I come to why they talk all this stuff there, and why I feel say the interview what we want to be necessary. So the healthcare problem in Sierra Leone, and so if you can move away from women and children and infants, even the general population is not healthy, so there are a lot of deaths reported. What to say, diseases are way curable, malaria, mosquitoes, and all that. The environment, no clean sanitation, issue in Sierra Leone, especially in Freetown, where refuse, all the trash, they can just send them all over the place. And so that they lead to a lot of diseases where someday they end up will be fatal. So another thing we also occur in our country is also the road network in Sierra Leone. So last week we get a very terrible development now the northern province, for go come and create. That's now carrying the district. So we all been seeing them pictures them. Well, not to everybody, but a lot of people, especially northerners them. And if you did a WhatsApp group, Facebook, a lot of people don't see them pictures, then videos them. We thank God it wasn't fatal. Nobody no died. So we received the driver been damaged, but the bridge, for go come and create, it dropped, around the Benemu and the Kalamba area. So it's a problem because one of the conditions where they limit economic growth, sustainable development in any society, if they get a very poor transportation network. If goods and services, they know they move freely from one end to the other, now the country, not a problem. So the bridges, they are not in order, the roads, they're not in order, especially feeder roads. So we know anybody we don't go to Sanda or don't do, we don't do some business, when we're young and within a business community, I know what I say. There's a lot of pepper they come on Sanda. A lot of pepper they come on there. If you see stadium like size of pepper they come on at that place. I don't know of now, but I'm talking out of experience. If you look at granules, the granules where they come on as standard, one of the highest in the country, you know. So the point where is I will say, the road itself is not a feeder road. It's a main highway down the way then for develop way. If they construct them, it is able to ease the traffic and make them shorter. If somebody want to go Guinea, with the exception of the river, the great gases, with the after come up here. However, you can go through that way and shorten the place. But you can also use other means now the river for take people them across. So instead of going, if you then Kono or McKinney parts, you know, go come on back, you go all the way to Loco. If you want to go by load na Guinea, it depends the parts also. I have to be very clear about it, because that part is different from the other side. But you know, if na that side they go, they shorten the traffic. So that's not one. So sustainable development is limited in Sierra Leone because of the poor infrastructure we'll get. Transportation infrastructure network is one of the poorest in Africa. I've been seeing a video where probably I get them where somebody shoot a video from a tutuka for go Nabo. Oh my God, that's so sad. It's like a little path, you know, Motkase for go na problem. And the place is so bad, the gravel, you know, the holes and everything take go. So it become now like a death trap. People can get accidentally. And at the same time, you know, the journey from that short distance for go table a longer, according to what the possibility say, for even if people they prefer for go the other side, you know, like Mogoroka and other places for let it go because they better. And so imagine they want travel with goods. People they want to within them villages there, they want can sell, you know, now the towns them where they around. It's a problem. So people are not able to come for bring the load. Motka one go there for go put load na problem. Maybe it bulky, people are not able to carry them to the towns. So it affects the local economy. That's not a big problem. How the local economy, money no they circulates there, and the individuals there, the standard of living will continue to deteriorate. That's not a big problem. So this now is very serious concern. And imagine if people get loaded for sell all the way free town, where it will get more profit and consume more, they're not able because the road is not accessible. So whereas it be accessible before. So government get to do something about it. But I'm not here to blame a government to talk about stuff. I did build up kind of the reason why I've been decided for get this interview today will not be right. So that is something on the whole all Sierra Leoneans they feel. Poor transportation network, the infrastructure, the bridges, them they all no good, you know. So the need for rebuild them. Also the feeder roads, them they need for try for rehabilitate the one the way don't well we know accessible right now, because that's good for the GDP growth in our country even, and we also good for the economy, the local economies. It's good for the individuals. The standard of living will be improved because if they sell them, they produce them, agricultural produce or anything within the sell, if it's easy for bring them out. If you know the expensive, because if they get access to vehicles the way they go, they struggle too much, and they know they struggle too much for go get and load them. So they go pay cheap, they go pay less, and then go sell and also can continue what they do. So all the issues that they deprive development and growth, and they also give quality of life to the people. So that's another thing. Another thing where I also identify when an issue where people get problem with is that poverty. And you know, poverty they degrade the quality of life of the people. Now anywhere, it's not only. And we see all the things that they talk about, even when we look at the Millennium Development Goals, they will go to Sustainable Development Goals, then get, I think, agenda goal, I think goal, the first goal, I guess, either the second or first goal, hunger and poverty. I try to confirm that. But I will check them up anyway. But one of Then either first or second goal, poverty na one of them. And hunger, as we when I begin on food security, so the United Nations, the first like food security, kind of improve people and let them get access to food. Now it make them report all the commodities, by 2030. So we basically they see the people of Sierra Leone, they are mostly poor. Poverty don't grow beyond expectation. And when people are poor, it translates into a lot of negative impacts on their lives, on the country, on the way they relate to each other, development, they affect development, So income poverty is a big problem. Where to say, if people they struggle for go through and then they, just get the basics, not a problem that one day. And so this is an issue where it able to degrade the quality of life of the people. People are very hardworking, but due to the lack of opportunities the way they, because if opportunities are there, where people will use, explore, exploit, either go work, get an income, or even do stuff that we will bring something, that would be a very good thing. So that now one of the things the way they make people in the crumble, people entire the country. But the income poverty also, we look at the employment side of things. Unemployment is a big problem in Sierra Leone. And until they address them, it affects the people's quality of life, and also they affect the revenue base of the government. So irrespective of any government way they, if you create the opportunities for young men, especially in Sierra Leone, about 80% of the population of Sierra Leone are young people there. Either, so we can look at from age 35 below and to age 0. Let me just say age 0. When you put people within that group there, the final say they are almost about 80% or more of the population of Sierra Leone currently. Like an official in Sierra Leone will say the city of Freetown alone, 30% of the people in Freetown, they are within 35 years below. 70% of the residents of the people of Freetown, of the residents in Freetown, then they're about 70%. And they're between age 35 below. That's not a big number. So if we look at the current population of the country, if we say Salone, of course, you over 9 million to 10 million. If you take that 80% or something, not a big number. So we know say the young people up to 18 years old, no, they don't work. And also even when they go to college, so if you less the percentage of that body where they their age group, where they qualify for work, they will get a job. Unfortunately, the impact of also not having work, it tell not only on the individuals who know the work, but the government is also losing a lot, because government not buy or sell. Part of the reason why project they fail now Africa, project the way government they present, where then they make attempt for promote or engaging, because no go partner with government they buy or sell. Now, no partner there. Because if we look at on a policy base, the policy levers, there are about 8 policy levers, and one of the policy levers then now like buying and selling, okay, or buying or selling or hire somebody for take care, or group of people for take care within you as a government they do. So which means the government in most cases, now any country, especially the West, a lot of things that we see private organizations they do, that's not thing that we begin from them. But they look at them as everything will be better off for lay it in a private hands, than then do them. Say for instance, the trash collectors them, now like the West, you know, each county they do that in each city, then gather and then they collect trash because every day trash they buy. So government can do them differently. They can decide say, well, we can do this. However, how much would that affect the government? Because if you get people who they collect the trash, they get for pay them for various things them like holiday, sick and everything. So they can say, okay, let's give this. They can go either 50-50 to the trash collector companies, or then left under their hands, but they also get away with the controller. So the point what I try to say here is that the government they lose a lot if they engage in businesses. So we really like, for instance, feed salon or farming, we like the current administration they try to do. It not go work because it go therefore left on a private hands. It not the work. So if you allow farmers, you provide enough machinery, technology, engagement, and everything, it will be better. So all you do is you collect revenue from them. You collect tax from them, income tax and corporate tax for companies, and then that will bring revenue. So, but with high rates of unemployment, government they lost, the people in the loss, and the quality of life, and health issues, poverty, because when you're not employed, you don't get income, you get a big impact. So the other thing we are getting now, we decide we also in the amount of people in the country, we get the environment. And I decided to put the environment, although I've been beginning to touch on them. Most people where they follow me, or a lot of people they follow me, they don't see now Facebook, and they continuously they put information, that relates to the environment. It's deliberate. It's deliberate because, when I had to do my PhD, I should have basically could have just focused on looking at a policy issue in America. What I would say, follow one organization and say, okay, this I will do one, and then because at the end of the day done, I will get a good job there. I study them, they know, and if I come up with anything where will be solutions to the study, at the company, that go and me this job, that job. But I deliberately decided that I want to start the country. I want to do something in Sierra Leone, we have to say very important. And part of the thing where I see where it's a serious issue, man of the environment. So the environment in Sierra Leone, the environmental problem in Sierra Leone is so serious that either the government don't take them serious, or successive governments don't take them serious, or the people they're not aware of the danger where they are ahead. There have been serious publications where if you're not sure, you can go online and use YouTube or whatever kind of media you get for use, just query for find out the level of environmental catastrophe will get for occur in Sierra Leone years to come. I've been laying hands on a certain document where somebody writes and publish, and government is aware. They've been sufficiently informed about the danger where they are ahead of the environment in Sierra Leone, and the problem will occur for inaction. They're sufficiently aware of that, and from now to maybe 2030 or so, if actions are not done at the environment in Sierra Leone for try for reverse issues like mitigation, adaptation, and create an integrated climate adaptation plan where they involve a lot of stakeholders, educate the people about the problems where they right now. Salon go there forget a lot of experience where they able fix easily, and the country is not wealthy, it's very poor, and the resources are not there. So that's a big problem, So I decided say we have to talk about these things. They're very, very important. We see how sea level rise is taking place in Sierra Leone along the coast. From Walla, Yelboya, all the mangroves they don't go. And if you come Freetown along the peninsula, if I now say the Sansan don't go, where as a result of development, so they do a lot of sand mining. They don't take a lot of Sansan at the place. So that's also now a big problem. But there are natural forces as the environment is hot due to climate change, the heat the Boku, more of carbon emissions. So we find out say it lead to the sea for expand. So it's like if you cook and where the water they boil, see how the water they expand. So it's the same thing. So the water where they inside now the oceans and the seas, it heat so much that it expand, and that expansion it lead to sea level rise. So unless the climate cools small, it will affect countries like Sierra Leone bitterly. And so we see what's the impact of that. All the coastal structures them where they along the peninsula like Freetown, so water they take over there. The second, like number 2 river, as you can see, the water they take over not only the structures but the daily living of the people, where depend along the coast, in a beach, outside they get restaurants, they get hotels, and the tourists then they come. So the water they take over them place and they lose income. So when they say local revenue, individual revenue, it affects then they lost them, and when they lost them, it affects also the local economy, because all them businesses the way they along the area they pay tax, local tax, and the tax they go to the government or the local government, and then say they take them for pay salaries or something. So it's a chain reaction. So you see what at the top. So the sea level rise is affecting. But let's go further, like we go then Bond area, where now one of the areas that will be affected. So a lot of the islands then, where small islands and don't lost, and even the big island with water they come, because I just want to inform people and say when you look at the mangroves globally, Salome get one of the highest, not now, before, the highest forests of mangrove forest in the world. In Africa, then they within the first 10 countries they will get the biggest mangrove forest. So but they don't destroy that rainforest and why? So why they destroy it? So if we go back to income poverty, unemployment, so when people are poor, they're employed, and they don't get opportunities then, so they will definitely decide to use the environment as a source of income. Like I've been saying before, my study based on Sierra Leone, and I do my study on environmental policy implementation. I will take one day, I can present a lot of things that what I do, what we come across, but at the same time, my recommendations and what I identify, my findings and how that will benefit the country. Alone, I might not get a voice for say this will change the country, but what I do, I study, where I interview a lot of people in the country, with the environment expert, them policymakers and everything, and they give me the opinion, and it's an independent study. It's not a political kind of thing now, because it's about the country, and it's vetted. It was vetted sufficiently by the authorities, professors, doctors, and approval. That's how I was able to get my PhD. So, but what I'm saying is that the climate don't affect Sierra Leone. The environment don't get problem. And what did they say? this go surprise when some people don't really believe for say Sierra Leone now one of the 3 countries where gets the most serious adverse effect of climate change in the entire world. Guinea-Bissau, Bangladesh, and Sierra Leone, then 3 countries there. Climate change don't affect every country. Like Liberia is affected bitterly, seriously. I've been look at data on Liberia when I did do some things on climate change, Liberia and Sierra Leone, they get a very serious problem. The readiness of the people, that na in count, of the authorities, na in count, education, engaging the people. And I've been also try for write an article we published already. It's on stakeholder engagement. The fact that in Sierra Leone stakeholders are not sufficiently engaged for either educate them, for make them go buy what the government they say and follow them, and also for them one the way they in certain communities where now a reserve forest area, we see how while in the tell them say we not do this, we not do this, but what they provide in the form of compensation so that they not will go back and do what will affect the environment available. And so what we find out is the environment is now a big source of livelihood for the people. And so these now the stuff them. Now I will get to stop there as far as the things are concerned. So if I can recap them, so I don't make mention of food security issues. There is water security issues. We get employment issues in the country. We have health issues in the country due to poor healthcare. Hospitals are not sophisticated. We don't get expertise. The doctors and we really capable for take care of the healthcare system and improve them. And we also have food road network issues. Sorry, I say food road network issues where they affect the effective transportation of goods and services, and also making sure that our infrastructure, road infrastructure, will be good. That's my problem. Poverty, income poverty. We have also unemployment, high rate of unemployment in the population, younger people particularly, diseases, and we also have within the environment. Now, these things, they don't create so much havoc in the lives of the people, so much that it affects the quality of life of the people. So the question here, I say, what make I be decide for get this interview, if it be possible for that be Holland, for that get a perspective of other people. But somebody else tell me a little bit. But the questions we are prepared, I know they go into them until we get a discussion where people will benefit generally, because myself one land, we're in the business of research, so we always want to learn. So with all the things that I don't make mention of, it don't bring a lot of calamity in the country, and the population they grumble, whether it is alone, it is America, it is Europe, any part of the country where they if na Saloni come out, because of them here, we all day in the same predicament. Yes, with some of where they are different, because you want food, you go eat and you don't get for worry about it. If they drive, if they go to places, even if you just do part-time job, you're able to do a lot of stuff to take care of your life. Back home, that's not easy for many people, not to everybody. So few people are able, where the next day then they expect back if they can. But the majority of Sierra Leoneans are not fortunate enough for able go through the day without suffering, without hassle. So people they grumble, people are confused, and that don't make people even rise up at some point for either say things against the leadership, administration, and administration is at the same time they say rise up for do what they do. And so we see the issues that we did. That brings to another point we relate to the security of the state, the freedom of the people, the human rights of the people, the stability of the country, and the freedom for people and for express themselves freely. That become an issue because all that here they don't become a problem. How for fix them? So government they face a challenge for fix their wire, but at the same time, the people then where they experience them, we to say that they in a poorer state, they need let them fix it here. So grumbling the day everything, fighting the day with the talk, people in the cause and everything. The question here is, within this particular situation where people can ask why didn't it happen? So to me, I decided for this interview for look at, I say, the socio-economic and political outlook of Sierra Leone, where I didn't hear all day inside it. So I want to know, the next action we will take. Where do you say the why is no longer working for us? So the question is, how do we get out from here, from this point? And until Sierra Leoneans them, whether the politicians, the one doing in administration, the opposition, experts them at all levels, individuals with a struggle, until we're able to answer the question of how do we get out of this situation, then there's a problem. And how do we get out of this doesn't mean not fight, not cause, where you they engage in other activities then where, perhaps things in the best way for get out of the situation, where someday it will cost you life or it will put you in certain circumstance, that's not a solution sometimes, because they go anywhere. So I want to know from expert how do we get out of this? Getting out of this doesn't mean we have to fight. Or they're there for cause. Or being at the bone of the administration. Right there. So I want to get the answers. And that's why we have this today. But we're not going to get the answers if we don't understand the problem. We they grumble. We all they face different issues. We issues they not be the same. Now, some they work, but it just happens to say they know they get enough money. So it's different from the one who not they work at all. Some people in there place where they don't worry to say the bridge don't broke, how would they care go produce them? Or the road, like Motutuka to Bo, will not able to go through that road anymore. People in the way not they think of this stuff in there. So the problems of people in face in the country not to the same everywhere. But when you put them together, it gets a very serious problem in the entire country. And so fixing these problems is a very big challenge, and it starts from not only why would they face this problem, because mistake don't happen. Because if we get the right kind of leadership, the right people and within at the right place, way before we use various sort of decision points due to certain loyalties, where you say the benefits we personally to some extent, or it give you satisfaction. So people make the decision that they for do certain things and no country the way individuals they grab what they make, and so we not to government inspire the process for create the opportunities that where people they need for change, for live better lives. And so if that's the case, if we don't make mistakes then, if people are way for take care of them stuff they're not able, actions they know they, and people are individuals also, they take certain actions like sand mining, charcoal burning, and they continue for the environment hot and everything, that measures that they all They come from the individuals as a means for survival, because the environment is a source of income for supporting livelihoods. So people are able to think about how do we get out of this problem. And so that's why I chose for conduct this interview today. Unfortunately, it wasn't possible. So I just want to say at this point, I'm sorry to all those who they can for let they participate in this interview. Where I've been do from the guests, make get in perspective and see how we go. Maybe government will listen, because it's not about talking about the politics for destroy opposition, no opposition, or government, no government, or individuals. No, because we don't reach a stage. We need for focus on how we will fix the problems. For those of who we do business administration, especially if you don't go higher where they talk about making strategic decisions, where organizations they face challenges and they able to go through, then they review themselves and see which side they. It's not just about why the other organization where they within the same industry they do well. We know they do well. So it will begin from understanding the position, and from there we will think about how do we get out of this problem. Very important in relation to businesses or politics or whatever. We at the time for talk about solutions which are policy based. So I want to thank you very much. This is the beginning of creating a larger platform where we all will engage each other and see how we will get a better Sierra Leone. So at this point, I just stop now and thank everybody who for watch this video. Everybody we don't come and try for listen, and say apologize to those who not be fortunate enough for come. That will be for get that video due to technical issues. But they are showing us say we will try for address those issues in the future, and then set up a date where will be longer and more conducive, so that all will make this a success. I'm very grateful and thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for watching me, for looking at this video. I'm so grateful. Thank you. So if you have any comments, now for leave them. I will come back and answer the questions. Please leave your comments. Okay? When I left on our comments them, I want for engage you now and want for therefore learn a lot. This now a different era, and I believe say we will get to make progress using engaging each other. Thank you. God bless you.